Once again, we had tech issues. Isn't that fun? I had to reschedule and revamp and redo once again. I don't know what the issues are. I don't know if it's because we have all of these things that are going on in terms of the technical issues that we have going on around the planet right now, or, possible shutdowns and things like that, or if it's just my internet, or if it's just my ineptitude. That could be that too. So anyway, happy January 18th. It's a fantastic day here in the Northwest, and it's a great day all over the planet. We've got all kinds of great things that are happening. Hi, Elena. Thanks for finding me. I had to reset a couple of times. I don't know what the story is. Thanks for being here. Thanks for finding me. Today's title is Holy Hello. It's wakey wakey time, because that's what we've got going on today. It's this wake up and smell the coffee time. We've got all kinds of things that are happening, not only here in the United States, but in Canada, in Germany, and Denmark, and Spain, and Italy. It goes on and on and on. So we here are not the only ones that are going through major transition. The world is. Oh, good. I've got people that are texting me, letting me know they're reloading. Yes, it's been tech. It's always fun. So I thought the whole concept of Holy Hello is so perfect, because tomorrow is supposed to be National Popcorn Day, and then we have the 20th, and we have all kinds of solar events that are happening that are influencing what is going on. And I'm not the astrologer, so I don't have all of the planets lined up and their trines and planets doing this and that, but I don't want to talk about that tonight. I want to talk about other things that are influencing us. I'm going to talk a little bit about politics in a consciousness format, and then from there we are going into what it means consciously and how that affects all of us, the conscious level of, or the consciousness level of where we are expanding and growing. Hi, Tracy. Yes, thank you for being here. Where we are all going, right? Where are we, and why are we? What is happening globally, consciousness-wise, for all of us? How is that impacting all of us? So we're going to talk about that. And as you know, I'm going to start out with a card tonight, because I always do cards, my crystal cards. We're going to talk about that because that's always fun, because they do influence us and they give us positive things. Hi, Sheila, or Shelly. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Hi, Sybil. Nice to have you here. Thank you. I really appreciate you. So we're going to do our crystal oracle card and get kind of a something to focus on for now to next week, to next Monday, because there's so much at play right now. Everything that we can do as a team, as a globe, as humanity, to really help with this consciousness shift, it's actually imperative, actually, right now. The more we're involved and the more we're engaged, to really make a difference. So if we can add in all the added energy of the crystals, let's go for it, right? So tonight, got to put my glasses on. And what do we have for this week on our Holy Hello Wakey Wakey time? It's fluorite. I actually have quite a bit of fluorite around here. I didn't really even read this beforehand, but here's what fluorite looks like. I actually have some fluorite that is green and purple mixed together, and I actually have it in a healing wand and have utilized it through the years just to have in my space. Hi, Sam. How are you? Holy Hello is right. Oh my God, what a week. Oh my God, I get so excited. We're going to talk about all kinds of things today, because consciously, intuitively, politically, what's going on out in the world, it's just, I'm like a little kid. So, but we're going to start, right? We're going to start with fluorite, because why? Because it's really good to think about and focus on between now and next Monday, because we really need to help the vibration on the planet and in America, because what happens in America influences the world. So it's really important that we all tune into this. So, okay, fluorite, again, is a purple and green stone. It's beautiful. It's all about concentration. Well, right now we all need to really concentrate on being as positive as possible. It looks like a lot of doom and gloom out there. A lot of players that I have seen, listened to, you got to listen with discernment. You have to listen to, hey there, how are you? Thank you for being here. Is it's all about discernment, paying attention, utilizing your intuition, because if you're listening to somebody, then all of a sudden they're spouting a lot of doomsday stuff. You don't want to be paying attention to them, because that lowers our frequencies. And we're going to be talking about frequencies tonight, because this is really a vital piece of what we are going through right now. Is not only the Earth's frequencies, but our own. So very important. So concentration. I really want you to think about what your concentration is put on. Where is your focus? The other thing fluoride is about is psychic protection. Now this is really cool. Sorry guys, I have a tickle in my nose. This is really, again, I didn't read this beforehand, and what's really fun is what we're going to talk about also are the ETs that are helping us right now and their protection on the planet. I've got a whole download that I'm going to share with you from them, and I'll explain that in just a second. But the psychic protection from them, from the universe, from our own psychic connection is really, really important. Sorry, my glasses are really kind of, I turn this down a little bit, see if that makes a difference. Well, maybe that doesn't that help? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I can't tell. Anyway, I need to be able to see, right? So, psychic protection, very important. So in terms of your own life, being protected psychically is the best way you start your day. We've talked about this before. Stand in your light, visualize the light above you, below you, around you. And of course, in my world, you use it in terms of your soul ray color, your soul ray vibration, and put that around you, and you connect to source and you ground to earth. Very important right now to be very grounded through all this nonsense and chaos. So psychic protection is very important. And this is also about emotional stability. I am seeing, probably you are too, a lot of people that are incredibly unstable right now. They are shaming and blaming and, full of hyperbole, and energetically I feel very unstable and ungrounded and incredibly blinded to what's really going on. So emotional stability in your own life and how you can then influence others in your world to help them would be really good. So let's just see what fluorite has to say. Fluorite emanates a highly spiritual vibration, which is really good. We need this right now. That can shield you from a negative influence or negative person that is causing you to be emotionally imbalanced. How about a third of America right now? 20%. That's very negative. So this is very cool. Know that you are being surrounded by love and light, and trust in the protection you are now receiving. Let go of your fears and concerns and allow this wondrous healing to occur. Love this. This is so important for this week, guys. Again, popcorn ready tomorrow. You can even order some in. And then start to focus on the things that bring joy to your life. Focus on all you would love to be doing rather than worrying about what others think. Well, what's really important right now as individuals as a collective is to really focus on what we want past this week. Okay, there are so many different stories that are being played out, again, politically, and I don't know how apprised everyone is, but just trust and know that we are going to make it through this keyhole of what I say is and we all feel is a rather dark time, but we are shaking off literally millennial of darkness. And in some ways it's been for 12,000 years that this influence has been on our planet, and in some ways it goes back millions of years because of how we were created, how we were formed. It's not like how the religious texts talk about. It's so much bigger than that. And we have a group of beings that have been here on the planet that think they are better than we are and have been controlling us for many, many millennia. And we have this opportunity as consciousness, as humanity, to shift this, to change this. And that's why this week is very, very pivotal. What you're seeing played out in the media is not true. It's a psyop. Turn it off. What I've heard today is that as of the 20th, that the news networks have been warned that the news will have to take all their programming and change it or clear their viewers are wrong. what are the right words? I don't watch TV, but they have to clear all their programming so that from 8 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, for 72 hours, we can have broadcast on the news. If they do not, they will go down. So that's why this week is very pivotal. We're going to see a lot of things going on out of Washington, D.C. And again, as we've talked about, whatever goes on in the United States influences the rest of the world. So as we all know, there are lots of troops in D.C., up to 30,000 or more. We have barbed wire there. We have troops. It's very calm other than what they're saying. You know, the news is projecting a certain story. I've listened to different people that say it's very calm there. However, they are geared up for a change in the guard. So with that, that's why this card was so important, is to stay totally in alignment, be connected to your higher self, your power, and you know, listen, wake up to what's going on, pay attention, use your discernment. And if you need to, again, pull this up, use that energy, that purple green. What I like about this particular stone, this talks about this is all about the, you know, the indigo ray, which goes into your pineal, which is opening, your pituitary and pineal gland, yes, opening up your visionary self. And then the green is about your heart. So listening with your heart to what's going on, right? Paying attention from that level of guidance within ourselves, which is the heart. So between the head and the heart, the intuition and the heart center, and utilizing your discernment, you'll be able to wade through a lot of this nonsense that's been going on. Again, it's so important for all of us to be co-creators in this, and that's why I was saying, where do you want to see you? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to see our world beyond this juncture, this moment in time that we all signed up for? We all decided to come here at this time. We've talked about this before, but this is so important, especially when we look at, is this really happening? Are we, oh, 2 seconds, sorry. Just another text from somebody coming. No, on another feed. Somebody trying to get on. They're saying I'm getting blocked. God, I don't think so. Maybe I am. Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for being here. I don't know. Has anybody else, does it look like I'm being blocked? I don't know these things. I mean, I do say wrong words, right? You have to be so careful today. And little old me, like I said, I've been kicked off TikTok and Twitter. So it wouldn't surprise me if little old me, oh good, gets, you know, I got to be careful here. But this week is just, it's so exciting. Yesterday, I got all kinds of hits from people, thank you, from different ones that were all nervous because they listened to several people that were really on the negative side. And we're in World War III, no, we're actually in World War IV, and, you know, this country and that country and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, we're not going to create that. That's why it's so important to really visualize beyond these next couple months, because the president won't be inaugurated until March 4th. Just trust me on that. There's going to be no inauguration on the 20th. Most of you here probably know that. It's not going to happen until March. We are going back to the Republic. We are going back to the Constitution before 1871, which is so exciting, and we all signed up for this. I may have mentioned this before. Hi, Mr. Payne. How are you? Nice to have you. Is that not only do I have bloodlines back to the 1630s, I signed the Declaration of Independence. Yes, I signed it, right? Because I was one of the founding fathers way back when, and my girls found me, which is great because I was too close to it. I can see myself there, but I couldn't see who I was. I could see the people I talked to. I mean, it's pretty amazing, man. I've been to different places back east and in the south. I'm going, been there, done that. So I get very teary. I get very emotionally engaged with our freedom right now because I was on the other end of this. So it makes perfect sense that I'm here now. And more than likely, you in the chat tonight also have that connection. So that's why right now, this pivotal moment, no differently than when we got all of that signed in 1776, how important that was. We could all go, oh, God, that's where we are right now. Tina, how are you? Tina from Canada. This is great. We need anchoring in from Canada, our friendly neighbor to the north. Even though, sorry, there were a few people involved, not Canadians, involved with our election stuff. And it'd be really interesting who it was. Could it have been your prime minister? I don't know. Yeah, I got shivers. Exactly. It's exciting. So, think about where you were in 1776. Were you here? Do you have energy to it? I definitely do. That's why I am so engaged and I cannot not. And I have a few fellow, junkies out there where we are. Yes, Sheila's a junkie. She made it on. Fantastic. We are junkies when it comes to this because this is a very, very important cosmic shift in awareness. Now, what I did, of course, I put out questions that we're going to get into, and then I'm going to share this other really cool story. But before I do, this is about the Arcturians and a mothership I just saw last week. But before I tell you that, I want to explain something to you. I'm sure if you've been listening to different ones in the fringe elements, the outer edges of the news that you don't get on the regular news channels, they talk about right now you have to make a choice. You have to decide which side you're on. Now the challenge with that is when we start saying yes or no, black or white, day or night, then we stay in our duality. I can take these off now, right now. And because of that, when we're in that duality, uh, we stay locked in. And yet at this time frame, the two choices are actually two timelines that are playing out besides themselves. And for lack of a better way, I'm going to use this one and this one. And actually, this is my right hand that works. So the right and the left. And that can be ideology as well, but it's also about making right choices. And at this point, we have a lot of people that are still on this timeline, this potentiality. However, it feels more like in a kind of a global thing. To me, this is just an intuitive feeling. It feels more like about 20%. Here, I feel like we have the other 80% of the planet. This 10 to 20%, some of these people are just plain ass blinded. They don't know what's going on. Within this dynamic, though, are those who want to control. That's a smaller group within this consciousness probability. This probability is where we are heading, and this is why we have to choose. What do we want? That's why I keep saying, what do you want to focus on past this juncture of this week through February into March, April, as we talked about this before. This year is the year of revealing. It is the revelation. I talked about this a year ago at this time. This is about the revelation and the revealing of the inner truths that have been hidden for 12,000 years. Long time, long time. So with that being said, choosing these timelines is really, really important. And how I explain this to you so you can understand it. Imagine we're at a train station and we've been over here. Well, we haven't, but some people have been over here on the milk run. Now, this is the positive timeline of moving forward, of human expansion, of sovereignty, of freedom, of creativity, of awareness of who we are. This is what this timeline is about. This one over here is really focused on the past. It's allowing others to take charge of us. It's giving our power away, disempowering ourselves by turning over control. And we do that by being complacent. We do that by being lazy. It's easier to have somebody else do it for us. Let's just give me a paycheck. Let me eat bonbons. Let me just play games. I mean, there's a complacency, a laziness that this timeline represents. It faces the past. And you're seeing that. You saw it played out in the American elections. We still have that 20%. It is 20%. 20% that still is in that category of facing the past and not wanting to take responsibility, self-responsibility, because that's what this is about, self-responsibility. Where are you in this? Okay, so this timeline, back to the train station, we have those are over here on the milk run, and then over on this timeline probability of expansion and freedom for humanity, breaking the bonds of this satanic Luciferian pedophilia blood cult that has been running the planet for centuries, millennial. Over there on this timeline, we actually awaken, and they can't come with us. They can't raise their frequencies because they're over here. Okay, so that timeline will create another time space. We are light workers limited there again. Yes, exactly. Thank you for that. That's exactly right. So what I want you to start visualizing, perfect, thank you for that, is to not be on, make sure you're not on that train facing backwards, essentially. Have you ever been in those old trains where they actually have the chairs facing backwards? Kind of makes you sick to your stomach. Just imagine all the seats facing forward, and then packing your bags if you're on that, or if you know anyone, because they're going to come through this and they're going to go, oh my God, how did I not know this stuff? And you're kind of going, how come you didn't know this stuff? Pack their bags, get them over here on this train, on this probability. Okay, does that make sense? Visualize it in terms of a probability field, this timeline, this train track that is heading on each of our own personal destinations. It's heading on the global destination. So when you wake up, when you go to sleep, visualize this train. In that train, visualize your own special car down to the details, because this is your creative process of where you want to go, where you're going to be, what it is that you want to create. Okay, because we have to get through this. Right now we are literally breaking through a tunnel that they haven't finished clearing off the bricks for. I can see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm sure you guys can too, but we got to kind of clear the tunnel out so that we have room for our trains to go through to create this timeline, this choice. Okay, that's why no more do we have the luxury of sitting on the fence. I know a lot of people that sit on the fence and, I don't know. No, because you're going to kind of go into oblivion at that point. You got to go there, which is to the past, and it creates its own timeline. And those are the people you will probably never see again in this life, because they are creating their own timeline. And there will be friendships that fall away and go over on that timeline, and that's okay. And some might wake up and go, oh my God, how did I miss this? And choose to get over at the next stop on this train. Okay, I hope that makes sense, because that's what this is. If you can visualize timelines in that perspective, then it will really help you create a visual that you can hang on to, because when it starts getting to the esoteric stuff, you're kind of going, okay, that doesn't make sense. I'm all about visuals that you can utilize. So this is your train into the next aspect, into the next category, the next chapter of your life, our life as a collective, as a consciousness group. So I think this is really exciting. In fact, this is really fun. When I looked up, I have to just share this, a quick quote, and it's, every morning you have two choices, right? Continue to sleep with your dreams. Hi, Chrissy, how are you? Or wake up and chase them. So again, you can choose to be over on the milk run into kind of, where the shutters are down in the old trains, or you're over here on this amazing opportunity for, again, expansion, freedom, creativity that just keeps expanding humanity and you personally, your families, your friends, your community, on and on and on. So think about that, okay? So now, totally different subject, kind of, sort of, okay? Last Thursday, I got my questions here for later. Last Thursday, I was driving to a meeting, and it was 5:15, and I know the time because I was running a few minutes late because I had an appointment, and I raced home, got changed to race off to this other meeting. And this meeting, of course, is so exciting because it's a national group here in the United States, all about spiritual alarm clocks. Love that. This is all about, our rights as human beings, and this is really important, our rights as sovereign human beings. So anyway, I was on my way to that meeting, and where I live here in Central Oregon, and I live up on a plateau. I'm in a desert plateau, so to speak. We don't have cactus, but I live in a juniper forest, which I love because it smells so good, and they're far enough apart that I get lots of light. So I'm driving out to the top of the plateau, and I can look west at the Cascades, and I'm looking a little bit southwest because the crescent moon had just arrived, and to me it's my favorite moon, the new moon, and the sun had just set and it was shining really brightly on it. So again, I'm very focused. I'm looking at the mountains, and I'm looking at the light on the snow and how much snow we have, and the stars are starting to pop, and it's just the most magical time of day for me. I just love it. So I'm scanning, and I slowed down. Fortunately, no cars ahead or below because I'm up on a hill. I'm getting ready to drive down to the main highway. And I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and then I look a little bit. So imagine if I'm pointing north, so to speak, and I look at 10:30, 11 o'clock, one of the mountains here in the, I can have a general reading. Yeah, we can talk about that later. Hang with me though, okay? Is I'm looking to the mountains, to Mount Jefferson, and I looked over there and I did the squint thing, and just like looking at it, I'm going, what is that? And I'm going up on the snow. There are no houses up there. There's nothing up there to reflect. Think about when you have sunlight coming in and you have a mirror and it reflects, right? And like a car or a mirror, and I'm going, I'm seeing reflection up there, and it was huge. And then it became very clear. It was a ship. It was definitely a ship. It was what I would call a mothership. It was very large. I could draw it out. Imagine, if I can, for lack of a better thing, is it was diamond shaped, so it was bigger in the middle and the bottom, and it was extended, and there were lights here on both sides of the upper and lower decks, and here at the ends. And this is where it gets, it's all relative, is that when I was looking at the mountain, the ship went what appeared to be at least a good 2/3 of the lower part of the mountain. Now, when I was further away from the mountain, it didn't look that large. I mean, when I looked at the mountain, there's no way the ship was quite that large. I don't know what the circumference is at the base of Mount Jefferson in Oregon. You can look it up. Thank you, Chrissy. And I'm going, oh my God. And so I'm driving down, and the ship moved because it didn't stay static with the mountain. And I'm going, oh my God, that's a ship, that's a ship. And I'm like, I just wish somebody had been in the car with me because I wanted to share. I'm like, God, there's a ship, there's a ship. Now, my sense was I got this intuitive head that nobody else could see that because, again, it's all frequency. Most of the ships around the planet right now are cloaked. And if they're not cloaked, most people can't see them because they're not looking or their frequencies aren't at that level. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is so perfect. So what I did, I want to share this with you if you guys are all up for this. I sat down and I said, okay, just give me a quick rundown. Who are you? What do you have to, what can you share with me? Let's put it that way. So I'm going to put my glasses back on. I know they reflect, but I got to read this because this is so cool. And then after that, we are going to do questions. Questions on mass disclosures, on awakening, on hidden agendas in Christ consciousness. So, okay. This is, I double checked, and before I start, I have to share one other thing. I reached out to 2 different people. One who is another psychic friend. I said, I feel very strongly these are the Arcturians. I went through several different ET races. I mean, I know quite a few, and nothing. So I thought, Arcturians, okay, I don't want to just be making this stuff up because I really want to talk to Arcturians because they're very cool, very high frequency. And no, she agreed with me. And then I reached out to James Gilliland. If you're not familiar with him, he started the ECETI Ranch, I always forget it, ECETI Ranch in Washington at on the Mount Adams area. You can look him up. Great guy. I've met him several times. I actually have his personal cell phone in my phone, so I reached out to him. I met him at a conference several years ago. He's written books. He does a weekly live thing too on his channel. Anyway, I reached out to him and asked him what he thought. He felt, that sounded right to him. Ironically, 2 other people had commented to him that they had seen ships. So he was going to get back to me. I said, I can't speak to the type of ship. This is my sense. Subsequently then is when I got this download from them. And I'm going to reach back out to him. But if you were at all interested in ETs at all and their influence on the planet, I would reach out, look into the ECETI Ranch because James has done some great work. He's a really cool man, and he's really down to earth and grounded. So again, ECETI, ECETI Ranch, James Gilliland. Okay, now, segue back. A lot of times what I do when I do writings and I'm listening things, I just speak into my phone, and I've got it all cataloged there. But today, when I did it, I used pen and paper so I could read much easier than through my phone. So this is what I got from the ship, okay? Because I feel they're still here. They are the Arcturian Council of Intergalactic Travel and Earth Support, because right now we need a lot of support. What people, humanity, sometimes fails to remember is everything is connected. What happens to you in the multiverse and dimensional space. There are those in the earth plane. Now, I have to stop for just a second. I have not looked back over this, so if anything seems weird, it's because I haven't reread it. I haven't corrected anything. All I did was write. So I will read that sentence again. What happens to you in the multiverse and dimensional space. There are those on the earth plane dedicated to power, control, greed, and corruption at the highest and deepest level, which includes the detonation of nuclear bombs. That ripples into all space-time. This solar system has already lost planets, which impacted the galaxy's populations. We are here to make sure that does not happen again. Earth, Gaia, is a living sentient being. We are here to honor her and keep her safe, no different than you keep your family safe. Her consciousness has risen enough to warrant loving support from the other areas within our conscious galaxy and universe. The awakening of her consciousness combined with humanity's is why we are here to support and aid in the vibrational frequencies of expansion, freedom, and connectivity. Our ships are here to put forth vibrational resonance, which aids Gaia's Schumann resonance and activates human pineal glands, helping to decalcify the the pineal glands. This gland has lain dormant for 12,000 years. It is time in humanity's evolution to crack the shell of separation. Like a crystal glass that shatters when a certain pitch is achieved, this frequency we are emitting helps to crack, break, and shatter the collective disconnection with who humanity truly is. This is the time you have waited for in this cycle, 12,000 years to achieve. When Atlantis fell, so did humanity's consciousness. This is another reason America and Atlantis have always been linked. Technology, sovereignty, freedom, and connection with Source. Last time, those who desired power overrode the higher frequencies. This time, it will not happen again. You saw our ship as your vision and awareness is sharp and your psychic connection high. You are welcome to connect with us anytime. We are close by. Always, the team of the Ark. So that's what I got. Is that just cool? I don't know about you, but I think that's really cool. So now what I want to explain is this, okay? Our pineal gland, which is the gland of our intuition, which connects us, to Source, it's literally the connective link between our physicality, thank you, Sam, our physicality, our humanness, and to our oversouls, okay? That is it's like a telephone. It's that connection. Yes, thank you. So this is what is opening up. This is what's cracking. Now, I'm going to segue for a second. We have to help that. And how we do that, I can take these off now. How we do that is through our diet. That's why food is so important. The food today has been so toxic. And the fluoride in our water, all that does is calcify and literally comes in and creates this shell over our pineal glands. So it's really important to be aware of clean water, fresh food, as organic as possible. And if you cannot, thank you, and if you cannot buy organic because of cost, okay, but make sure that you get the fruit and vegetable spray to clean it up, because when you do, it will help clear out your body. Again, I will come back to what I was talking about, but this part of the frequency that we can make a difference with is so imperative. The other thing you can do for you and your children, etc., is get some zeolite, zeolite. Zeolite is actually, they used it when Chernobyl blew up in Russia, and they created zeolite as a detoxifier from the radiation. Well, we're getting radiation from cell phones and microwave. Don't use the microwave anymore. Turn it off, guys. Do not use a microwave oven like ever. It totally burns out your food to zero, any kind of frequency. Cell phones, iPads, computers, all of that. So this is why the zeolite really helps clear the radiation out. Also helps to take any chemicals that you have collected over the course of your life, eating too many chemicals, eating or having too many medicines. Exactly. It does that to our bodies. Exactly right. So that's why zeolite is very important, because again, right now, this is all about frequency, this is about vibration, and the fact that they are here emitting a pitch to help break that shell is really exciting. Another thing you can do is, I wonder if I should do it. I'm going to do it. Hold on a second, folks. I don't know if they tag you on this stuff, right? But let me just go here. I am going to pull up the solfeggio. Solfeggio, there it is, the solfeggio frequencies. And it's basically I don't want to make that too loud. The solfeggio frequencies are a frequency, a pitch that helps clean out the chakras. And I'll show you what this one is. I'm all happy to share. I want everybody to awaken, right? This is the one. Can you see this? Can you see that? And it says all 9 solfeggio frequencies and emotional support. There are all kinds of things like this out there in the music that you can tap into and play this. I play this regularly when I'm driving, when I'm stressed, or agitated from all the bullshit that's going on. I turn on my speaker and play that while I'm fixing dinner or while I'm eating. It helps clear out the chakras, which includes the third eye chakra and the pineal, to help open that up. Because when we open this up, guess what? You're going to be as intuitive as possible, psychic, dialed into what's going on. You will be more discerning, more trusting of your instincts and your intuition. How's that spelled? Okay. Solfeggio, solfeggio. And there are different ones. This just happens to be one that I picked up. It's under New Age 2017. It's one I've had on my phone for quite a while. But again, if you go, I happen to be on Apple Music, or doesn't matter, Apple or Amazon, right? They're both corrupt. So that would be what's Spotify on Amazon. So you can do these things. Now, you have to understand that my chats disappear. So I don't want to... Dr. Horace would say 528 for love. That works. Oh, Jay, you're here. How cool is that? I can't see my chat, so I don't know who's here. Jason's here tonight. He's also from BC. Love that. So, again, things that we can do right now, today, right? Make sure you're not eating the chemicals. You're welcome. Chemicals, be mindful. When you go to the store, it's all about clean foods. And then get your zeolite. Get your solfeggio frequencies going on. Because we want to awaken everybody up around us so that we are on this frequency, this particular trajectory of the positive timeline of the right train, going in the right direction, right? And this isn't about right or left. God, we got to get past that in America. God. And globally, we got to get way past that. This is about humanity versus a few very dark souls. We send them love because they help bring us faster, closer to the light. So, again, what I'm loving, I'm segueing back to the Arcturians being here, putting out that frequency. Now, what's interesting is, have you ever done this where it's so quiet you can almost, the quiet has a sound, a pitch? Well, where I live is incredibly quiet. And even during the day, yesterday, I was sitting out on my patio, and it was sunny, it was warm. I can't believe this, it was 17th of January yesterday. And I'm sitting outside in the sun talking to my son, and it was great because it was so quiet. I had to take my headset off going, oh my God, it's so quiet, I can hear it. So when those moments occur, really tune into that frequency, that tonal quality, to hear it, feel it, and know, and amplify that, and know that it is helping to break up, de-shell, crack, dismantle the shell around ours globally, our pituitary glands. No, I did it wrong again. The pineal glands. I always get those mixed up. The pineal glands. So this is really important in our awakening. This is so exciting. And to know that that is one of the reasons that this particular group of extraterrestrials, people, beings that are of a very high frequency from the Arcturian system that are here to help, because everything that we do impacts them at this time frame, in the next time frame, in the multi dimensions, in the future, in the past. So we got to get it right this time. I mean, the different religions have said this is our 5th time of doing this. So it's like, that's why we're all here. That's all why we've all joined together. So when we make these concerted efforts to take care of us, to awaken this so we can help others, because that's our next thing. And that is, this week is going to be a big dump. Okay, let's just go there for a second. There's going to be a huge dump here in the United States. Now, we have 2 Canadians with us. That still will impact you, because once we get our act together here, it's going to come your way, and eventually these stupid masks are going to come off, which is the best thing, so that we can go without the vaccines, because those are toxic as hell, so we can go open up our borders again, and that I can go visit BC or Tina, right? These kind of things. So this week, tomorrow's popcorn day. Wednesday will be it might be the emergency broadcasting system if the news stations, the media stations, decide to still say, no, this is not going to happen, because they're fighting. These people are fighting to the end, because they're all so involved in the theft, the power, corruption, money, sex, pedophilia, trafficking, oh my God, money laundering, you name it, right? It's crazy, scary, wild. But again, we needed them. We needed them because they actually helped accelerate this expansion. It's only been 12,000 years this time. Other time frames, it could have been 35,000 years. So again, we're moving this time. That's really a good thing. So when you're out and about, you're out walking in nature, I want you to start tuning into that frequency and feel this happening within you. Yeah. Wednesday's going to be a hell of a day. That's why it's a holy hello day. Okay, now we've got some time for some questions. I would love a reading regarding what Jordan will contact me. What's going to happen with him and I. Alyssa, you know what I would love to have you do is, since we're not going to go into too personal tonight, we do bigger picture stuff. With you guys, I'll just say that you guys need to have a good conversation. That's the most important thing, because I see you going in different directions, and that's not a bad thing. So, but what we do on this one is we really try and tap into what's going on so we can help with each other in the world. And that's why I want to give everybody what I would say, not generalities, but specifics that are applicable to right here and now, which is this craziness that's going on. So the topics, I had some great questions. Mass disclosures. Now, what general is fine. Thank you. You're great. Is when I heard this mass disclosures, I heard masks disclosures. Because we've been masked, right? We can't breathe. The world's been masked. They've been masked of their consciousness. Think about it. We've all been masked. We've been blinded to the truth. So here I got great questions. And if you guys ever want to ask questions, you can send them to me ahead of time before these, on lives, and we can answer them. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you, thank you. You can send me questions ahead of time, okay? And then I'll write them down so we can talk about them. That's always good. Yeah, thank you. I look forward to that too, Tina. Mask, I love this. Mask disclosure. Why is everything being dumped at once? Okay, great question. And I've got, I don't know, over a dozen questions. So right now it feels like everything's being dumped, and yet you have this group of people on the planet going, why haven't we heard anything? Why hasn't anything been told to us before? Why is it slow? Well, the reason is it's very simple, actually, because the reason we have waited and waited and waited before anything's been dumped in terms of disclosure is because even in this last week since the 6th, what it's done is brought more, what am I going to call them, scumbags to the top, so that we know who's playing and who's not playing the game fairly. And so everybody's been waiting, right? They're revealing themselves. I love this. Again, this year, the revealing. So it's not only revealing information, it's revealing who's on this train and who's on that train, right? So that revealing is part of the reason they've waited. And now it's going to be big dumps, because it's the only way we're going to shock the shit out of people to say, oh my God, is this true? Because we have that group, law of attraction. I've always said your vibe attracts your tribe. It's exactly right. That's beautifully said. We attract that. Of course we do. We attract. That's why this group is really special, because we have all known each other in other lives, and so we've come back together. Even though Tina and Jason are in Canada, and I don't know, I think you're in Minnesota, maybe. I don't know. I know Sam's in Minnesota, and Chrissy's in Georgia, and there are a couple girls in the Portland area, and one on the Long Beach Peninsula in Washington, and I'm here in Central Oregon. We are all connected, right? So we attract each other for the, yep, Minnesota, good. We attract each other on purpose, because the vibration goes back to the frequency that the Arcturians are putting out, right? They're putting out a frequency to help break this up so our vibrations are higher. So our disclosures are coming this week, guys, and it's because we had to wait, and then it's now to, we actually have to shock some people to wake up. Now, has there been a value in the slow drip of disclosures? Absolutely, because, again, it brings the scumbags to the top, which is really good. And why was this hidden from us? The information, that's a really good question. The disclosures, actually, they haven't been, but the challenge is most people are so consumed in their own life. If everybody has a paycheck and they can go to a football game and eat their hot dogs with their buddies and drink beer on the weekends, everybody's happy. Everybody's content. They don't want to have to reach more. Not everybody is a junkie. Not everybody wants to know what's going on. Everybody likes things easy and simple. I mean, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not pointing fingers at all. We like things that are good and easy and not complicated. Well, then there are a few of us who like complicated, but it's, in a lot of ways, it hasn't been hidden from us. We just haven't been aware. So I think that's a great question. Why are so many waking up right now? Well, back to the Arcturians putting their frequency out. If you go on, I don't know exactly the website, but you can check it out. The Schumann resonance of the planet is shifting every day, and that frequency raises when we personally, as humans, vibe higher, when we're happier, when we're more focused. Another reason they put on these damn masks, so our vibes come down and they can stay in power. Well, screw that. We're breaking that. And that's why the Arcturians are here, to help raise that frequency. So when we think positive, we are waking. I want to make sure somebody waking up right now. We are waking up because also we talked about this when we went through it on the 21st. Huge shifts, and that's when that timeline really became strong, right? So more people are waking up to this because, whether you knew it consciously, your soul knew on a subconscious, unconscious level that this is the path you want to be on. That's why you chose to be here. You didn't choose to be locked down on a prison planet for the rest of your life, because that, folks, is what this other timeline is. It is not a pretty picture. Most people think I'm crazy. Oh no, it wouldn't go that. Trust me, I've gone into, it's definitely there. No, we don't want to do that. That's why this is so important, and that's why coming through when the cosmos supported us, more people are waking up. That's what's so important. So we are waking up, and that's why. Now, this is great. What if I stay asleep? Are there benefits? No. There are no benefits at this point in time. That's why you have to be on one of those trains. If you are still asleep, you're going to be over on this train, and then you get off. Think about it again. A train analogy is so great. It stops, and you're going, and you wake up, and you're going, oh my God, I passed my stop. Been there, done that. I missed a great stop. I missed the stop to Chamonix in France because I was sound asleep. I was so tired. So it happens. So anyway, when you fall asleep and you go, God, I got to get off this train. I got to get over to that one. So being asleep, you miss things of major importance. And right now, this is truly the awakening of our species. So very important to be on this train. So it's not a benefit. At least that's from my perspective. I'm only speaking from my perspective, but you can trust your intuitions on that. Are there benefits? No. Hidden agendas. How many are there? Oh my God, let's see. How much time do we have? There are so many hidden agendas, and what's crazy, it goes from the top level of the business, financial, group around the globe, down all the way to our just local officials. That's what's so sad. I may have talked to you about this before as an example, because I can't even speak to how many. We can just do the basics. The 7 deadly sins. That's right there. And within all of those agendas, then you've got another dozen and another 100, and then, it just keeps going. So it's so multifaceted. But as an example, here in Oregon, we have been the essentially one of the top trafficking states in the nation. That's scary shit, right? That's bad news bears. Well, so we have one of the top officials, trafficking guys here in Central Oregon, that I talked to him several months ago, but we've got a judge, a district attorney, we have a police, we've got city councilmen, so it's all the way down to the little levels. And that's the important piece to remember, that these agendas, so many, if we just take the major tops, the top biggies, theft, blah, 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 blah. It's like Obama stealing, caught 400 million just to set up this Dominion thing. Everybody's going to have the coronary when they talk about Barry being part of this, but it's just true. Anyway, the layers are so deep, right? So the more you're aware of them and use your discernment that not everybody is of the light, okay? Okay. How have I not seen what's really going on? Well, that's another question. That's what I talked about. We haven't seen it because, again, you're raising your babies, or you're going to school, or you're really focused on this next chapter in your career, and you're just caught up in the beauty of being human and the challenge of being human. Because if it were just oming on a beach all day, we could get bored out of our brain. Everybody says, no, that's not true. Trust me, if you've been on a beach oming for a year, you're going to get bored. You want to do something. You're going to want to create something. So we miss things, and we haven't really seen what's going on because we are so involved and so immersed in our own lives. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's time to look at what your neighbors are doing and what you're doing and what's happening in your city council and what's happening in Washington, D.C., and what's happening in Toronto and what's happening in Vancouver, B.C. We need to know these things. Okay, this is a great question. How has it been kept so secret yet in plain sight? Okay, that is a great question, because if, as one prime example, if you go back to the Olympics, the Winter Olympics in London, 2012, oh my God, it was so blatant right there. Even the stadium looked like the coronavirus. I mean, it literally looks like the coronavirus. And the whole display of it, I don't even know if you can track it. You might have to go to one of the alternative sites because Google will stuff it. But the whole opening ceremony had nothing to do with athletes. So you had little viruses hanging around. You had scary people going around. You had hospital beds and sick people. Coronavirus right there in plain sight. I remember looking over going, what is this? Because we had house full. We always like the Olympics. We're going, what is this? Well, again, plain sight, because again, we weren't conscious enough. We weren't aware enough to pay attention to these things. So it's really important. Oops, I need to switch this, sorry. Put that away. Is to really pay attention to these signs. Again, look up, I think I've talked about this before, but the Georgia Guidestones in Georgia someplace out in some field. It's all written on there, what their plans are, what the Illuminati, the cabal, the deep state, all those words I'm probably not supposed to say, that are planning. I'm too small. They'll ignore me. It's right there in plain sight for us to read and to be aware of. And so the more aware we are, the more we can say, nope, not doing this time. So you just have to be mindful. It's in our award ceremonies. Last year it was in plain sight. I didn't watch the different award ceremony, the one that Ricky Gervais spoke at, and then Hannibal Hanks, he got up and all he talked about were gates. Well, gates were all about the pedophilia and the satanic Luciferian agenda in Hollywood. And it made no sense if you weren't paying attention. I'm going, oh my God, he's revealing himself. And then the whole thing with the fire and the girl, the whatever her name is, I don't care. She's looking so Luciferian and dark, and Madonna in her devil stuff. I mean, it's right there in front of us, but we just think it's funny and they're being cute. No, they are. And Beyonce, they're doing it on purpose to say, look, it's right here in front of you, but you're not waking up. So it's up to us, right? That's why I'm here to knock on your door, and you're here to knock on your family's door and your friend's door. Say, okay, you might want to think about this in a different format, okay? And this leads us into where we are going with this frequency. You probably have heard around the planet that we're talking about Christ consciousness. This is not about Jesus, okay? It goes beyond Jesus, because there are those who talk about that when Jesus was born, Jesus was Jesus. And then when he was baptized, he was able, and then of course he went away and learned all his magic, right? He learned from the esoteric teachers. So he brought in this higher frequency, this higher vibrational energy, like what the Arcturians are bringing in with this frequency. He brought in this higher frequency of how to utilize things. When we open up, we crack our pineal glands open and are aware and can tap into our Christ consciousness within us, which means, remember what Jesus said, and I'm not a religious person, is if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. How cool is that? Well, that is when we are aligned, when we are clear, when we are free of distractions, when we are vibrating with these high thinking thoughts. Now, it doesn't mean you're not a warrior, because I'm in a warrior mode these days. It doesn't mean you're not a warrior. It just means you're in alignment with your highest and best self. When that happens, the Christ energy, consciousness energy has the ability to come within and open more, so that we know that we are 100% connected to the world. We are connected to each other. We're connected to Gaia. We're connected to the other planets. We're connected to galaxies. It just keeps going from the big levels down to the micro levels. That's Christ consciousness, when we are aware of how connected everything is, so that whatever we do impacts somebody else. Whatever we say impacts somebody else. Whatever we think impacts the whole. That's Christ consciousness. When we are living and embodying that on a daily journey, literally, moment by moment, that's Christ consciousness. And then it says, what is it? What does it mean? There we go. Is consciousness a control technique by the elite? No. Mind control is, and that is what I would call MK Ultra. You can look it up if you're not aware with MK Ultra. And mind control on the TV, they set it at certain frequency, back to frequencies. The news stations are set at a certain frequency so that they can hypnotize the masses. And there are some people who are more susceptible, and those people, I think, are ones that might drink too much, might smoke too much, eat the wrong kind of foods, are not physically active, don't know how to disengage, okay? They're going to be controlled at that level. So back to Christ consciousness. How can I raise my own consciousness? And we've talked about this, and that is really focusing on the best within you. And going back to the train analogy, think about all the different stops that you want to make, the different chapters in your life, and the things that you want to accomplish. You probably look at your life going, what if I were to die tomorrow? Death is not a scary thing, folks. If you were to die tomorrow, have you done everything you came here to do? And most will tell you no. And that we are the only ones that hold ourselves back, so that the more we open this up and just say, yes, I'm in. What do I need to do? And then trusting that intuition and trusting to what you're receiving, what you're getting. It's like the Arcturian group, okay? Am I just making this up? Maybe I was making, no, it just came. I wasn't making that up, right? It's trusting the information that we are all given. I'm no different than anybody else. I just happen to trust him, going, okay, tell me who you are. Okay, let's write this stuff down. So the more you tap into this and allow this awakening, see yourself as that sun opening up and your head is bright with light, and then move that sun through your entire body to allow every cell in your body to literally light up with consciousness and see your pineal gland awakening with light and consciousness, and then really dialing in the light around you and listening to the universe and paying attention, maybe you too will see a mothership. Maybe you too will start to hear things, hear the noise in the silence, hear things, see things, sense things. That's where we are right now. So my invitation, okay, we got a hell of a week. Happy hello this week is pay attention. I hope you guys can hear these frequencies because I left them on playing. They may cut them off because of rights and all that stuff, but is to really think about your shell cracking of your pineal gland and just know that we are having help from this ET race that is here, raising the vibrations literally, which is really just cool. I didn't expect that when I started writing things down. It's like, oh my God, that's just so exciting. So you tap into that. Tap into really being mindful of what you're eating, what you're putting into your body. If you know you need to be detoxed of chemicals and mercury and things from your mouth, get some zeolite. It's not expensive, but it's so worth detoxing yourself and your kids. And also if you've had vaccines, especially the newer vaccines, very, very, very toxic. Want to clear that stuff out. The more clear you are, the more intuitive you are. And then when we are all doing this, I want everybody to focus very positively on a bright, sunny future with expansion, creativity, sovereignty, freedom, creativity, just that we're tapped into that universal consciousness so that when we move through the 20th, 21st, it's going to go through the 24th. Just know, 20th through the 24th. It's going to be a hell of a week, guys. We're going to talk about all fun things next week, find out what's happened. But it's up to each of us. And maybe that right now we have a small group. It doesn't matter. We are all connected. If you think about it, again, I got to bring up Jesus for just a minute. He had 12, right? He had 12 guys. Oh, one beautiful woman too, that he was married to, actually, had babies with. That's another story. We hold hands in integrity and consciousness, and we link out over the world right now, and we add that light and just see light as if we were all flying above the earth, and we add that light to the consciousness and to all those dark pockets of fear that is harboring in so many people's hearts and minds. If we can help enlighten them, literally enlighten them with consciousness and enlighten them with light, we are adding to this shift in a very positive way. So that's your job. That's your assignment for the week. Love you all. I appreciate you being with me. I love this. And I'm being encouraged, let's put it that way, to start making short videos so I can start getting out there. You guys have been a wonderful audience for me. Who talk to 14 people, absolutely, you are spot on, and that's what we're here for. Like I said, Jesus had 12, so if Jesus can do it, we can do it. That's how I look at this. And this, I love you too. I love you guys. I just love you guys. Thank you for being here, for being my team, for being our team. Yelena, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Seriously, awesome. I was so excited about tonight because, between the Arcturians and what's happening this week, and we got to get popcorn. I don't think I have any popcorn, but you know what I got? I'm going to cheat for just a second, then I'll share this, and I'll let you go. Costco. I can't believe I went to Costco. I know I'm trying to avoid Costco, but they have these coconut. They are organic coconut, and we are the sum of all our parts. They're made with coconut sugar, and so I don't feel like they're that guilty, and so that maybe will be my popcorn. So thank you for being here, and we've got a Crummel S. I don't know your name, but thank you for joining us tonight. That was very sweet of you. I really appreciate that. Love you all. Have a great week. Think positive thoughts. Write stuff down. If you want questions or you have some questions for next week, send them to me. That would be fantastic. Oh, it's Stania. Stania, love you. Oh, I love this woman. This woman has a story. This woman has an amazing story. One of my new friends. She is the woman that I told you about that went swimming. Oh, thank you, Sybil. You are great. Love you too. Stania was here. Thank you, Stania. Didn't know this. She's an amazing woman. You guys are all amazing people. Love you, love you, love you. I send you love and light. Till next week, we got a great one ahead of us. Night.